Sales teams today have two major options for practice: AI speech coaching tools or structured coaching systems built around role play and performance tracking. But they solve slightly different problems, and today we'll be comparing Yoodli versus LemCoach for sales practice and deciding which one makes sense depending on your goals, your team, your organizational structure, and so on. Hi, my name is Justin from LemCoach, and in this video, we'll be breaking down or we will cover the limits of live coaching, advantages of instant AI feedback, cost and access differences, and other trade offs between the two tools. So, we'll be covering some of that aspects, and we'll start with the core problem. So the limits of live coaching, traditional live coaching really has three constraints: time, consistency, and scalability. Managers can't role play with every rep daily. That's an obvious statement. Feedback quality varies by coach and sessions depend on availability. So all those aspects really affect the outcome of sales rep improvements and other aspects in between. Managers can't role play with every sales rep daily, and obviously feedback quality varies by coach. Session depends on availability, and in small teams it's manageable, but in large teams it needs some sort of categorizations or breakdowns. Like today we'll be starting with this team, tomorrow we'll be doing a different team, and this is where tools like this come into the picture. So AI speech tools offer repetition without scheduling friction. Coaching systems offer strategic depth but require structure. So the real question is here: do you need delivery refinement or structure sales executing training? Yoodli focuses on communication mechanics. You record it and analyzes instantly, and you get feedback on filler words, pacing, speech, confidence, your confidence signals, talk balance, and so on. So there's no waiting for a manager, and the agency or immediacy creates tight feedback loops. So if a rep struggles with clarity or verbal confidence, improvement can happen within days. However, a critical nuance arises now. So Yodlee improves how something is said. It doesn't deeply evaluate sales strategy, qualification, depth, or deal progression logic. So its power is in delivery optimization, not sales architecture. So that's something that you should have a look at when you use this tool and work around it, and also use it in a way that will benefit your sales rep and your organization, and taking the advantage of its advantages and trying to limit its disadvantages. So instead of only analyzing speech mechanics, when it comes to LemCoach, it focuses on scenario-based role play, objection handling realism, framework adherence, manager oversight, coaching reinforcement loops, and etc. So this tool is positioned more around structured sales execution practice. The emphasis is broader, not just delivery quality, but conversation structure and sales discipline. So where Yoodli is micro-skill optimization, LemCode aims at structure performance training, different layer of the stack. Here's another thing now. So the cost and access comparison. That's where we compare the two tools, and see which one works well. So AI speech tools like Yodlee tend to be lower barrier to entry, faster to adopt, and individually friendly. They work well for solo reps, your small teams, communication improvement progress programs, and obviously structured coaching platforms like that will require team level rollout or need manager involvement. So the cost evaluation isn't just the price per seat, it's cost relative to coaching maturity. If you don't have a structured coaching process, a deeper system may feel heavy. If you already have a structured coaching process, then the software makes everything easy. It just formalizes the whole process. So the trade-off here is that if you choose Yoodli or if you choose to use Yoodli, your primary issue is verbal clarity. Reps struggle with filler words and pacing. You want instant self feedback. You need low friction practice, like you need things on the go. And if you choose LemCoach, you want structured sales role play. You care about the framework adherence, you want manager visibility, and you're building a repeatable coaching culture. So that's something that you always like in your large organization, something like a template where you just fill in the information, something that will just be ready to be used on the go without any struggles. So can't we just use both? Well, possibly if the budget allows it and the rules are clear. But overlapping tools without defined purpose leads to adoption fatigue. Clarity beats stacking tools. That's something that you should take into account. So you can use both tools depending on how you use them and when you use them. So these are the tools that you're looking at, your LemCoach and Yoodli. So when it comes to this, Yoodli optimizes communication mechanics and LemCoach optimizes structure sales execution. They operate at different layers. Let's say layer one, which is Yoodli, delivery quality. Layer two, which is LemCoach, sales conversation architecture. So if your delivery is your bottleneck, start with Yoodli. If execution discipline is your bottleneck, invest in structured coaching systems. The mistake teams really make sometimes, not always, isn't choosing the wrong tool, it's failing to diagnose the real performance gap first, like, getting to the root of the problem. So because no platform fixes a problem you haven't clearly defined, that's where you get to make some mistakes because you haven't figured out what the problem is. And the best investment in 2026 isn't more software, it's alignment between your coaching system and your sales motion. So those are the type of aspects you should be really looking at. And if you need more information, right, on these tools, on the comparison and how they work, you can visit the previous videos, and also you can have a look at the links in the description below, and you can just play around with the tools and see how well they work for you. That's it from me. I will catch you on the next video.